What's going on, guys? Benji Gaming here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to my 2022 Stanley Cup Playoffs Bracket Challenge predictions. I didn't do a video on this last year, but I did do one in 2020 and 2019. I took a year off last year just because I was getting kind of frustrated with how my brackets turned out, but you know, you can't take these things too seriously. But this year, hopefully I'll get some more of these predictions right. Yeah, let's hop right into it. If you guys are new to this channel, please consider subscribing. It would really help my channel out. I'm trying to get to 150 subscribers by the end of the summer, so it would really mean a lot if you guys could hit the subscribe button. Also, if you enjoy these videos and want to see more of these videos like this one, hit the like button. It would also really help my channel out. I would really appreciate it. And let's go for 10 likes on this video. I know we can do it. Hit that like button, show that love and support. And also click the notification bells. You know, notify whenever I upload a new video. Anyway, so let's get right into this video. Okay, so in the Western Conference, we have the Colorado Avalanche and the Nashville Predators. This is an easy one for me. I have Colorado winning this series because UC Saros is injured. He's out. He won't likely be playing in this series. I just don't see Nashville winning this series. I would not be surprised if they do win this series. It would be in 6 or 7 games, but with Colorado's firepower, they've just been unstoppable all season long. I don't see Nashville winning this series. Minnesota St. Louis. This is one of the tougher series. For me, I have Minnesota win this series. This is way too close to actually think of a winner for this series, but I think that Minnesota will take the edge in this series only because Kirill Kaprizov he's had a career year. He's just been on fire. He's been scoring goals, he's been assisting on goals, he's been absolutely unbelievable. The Blues, their goaltending might be an issue with Binnington struggling and Ville Husso struggling. I don't know. You could see St. Louis win this series, but it won't be in 4 or 5 games. It'll be at least 6 or 7. But in my mind, I have Minnesota winning this series in 7 games. Calgary and Dallas. This is another easy one for me. It's Calgary. Just why wouldn't it be? After a couple years ago when Dallas beat them in Game 6, you know, I think this is their time for revenge, for Calgary to get revenge, and they'll ultimately come out winning this series in 6 games, getting that revenge. They've also been another unstoppable team. It's been fun seeing them play all season long and just absolutely demolishing everybody. So it's going to be really exciting to see them in the playoffs. Edmonton and LA. Easy. Edmonton. LA shouldn't really be in the playoffs. They had a surprising year, but I just don't think they have enough to win this series. Okay, so Colorado in 5. Minnesota in 7, Calgary in 6, and Edmonton in 5. Alrighty, let's move on to the Eastern Conference. Florida and Washington. I have Florida winning the series for the sole reason that they have been the best team in the league. They won the President's Trophy. They have one of the, if not the best players in the Eastern Conference with Jonathan Huberdeau, second place in the league in points, tied with Johnny Gaudreau. He was 7 points behind McDavid for the Art Ross Trophy, so not a bad season. They just have way too much firepower for Washington to handle. And Washington, their goaltending has been a struggle. Ovechkin might be out for a couple games. That'll boost Florida's confidence, I'll say. So, yeah, that's one of the reasons why I'm picking Florida to win this series. Toronto and Tampa. As much as I hate to say it, I'm picking Tampa to win this series. But here's the thing. I will not be disappointed if the Leafs lose this series. Because if they lose, I'll know that they lost to the 2-time defending Stanley Cup champions. And for me, that's good enough. I have watched the Leafs play in the playoffs the last 6 years in a row. I've seen some good things. I've seen way too many bad things happen. A lot of chokes. A lot of every first-round exit you could imagine. Up 3-2 against Washington in 2017. They were down 3-2 the next year. Up 2-1 and up 3-2 against Boston in 2019. They tied the series in 2020. They had a 3-1 series lead last year. So I try to forget that, but I just don't see the Leafs winning this series. If they do, hey, that's great. But I don't see them winning this series, unfortunately. Tampa Bay just they want that third Stanley Cup in a row. Carolina, Boston. As much as I hate to say this as a Leafs fan, I see Boston winning this series. Just because Freddie Anderson's out for Game 1 at least, so that's another downside for Carolina. But they have Antti Raanta on net, who won the William Jennings Trophy with Freddie Anderson for the least amount of goals against this season, so that's pretty exciting. But Boston has more playoff experience. They have more wins, and they have more playoff winning experience. And I just think it's going to get to Carolina that they can't beat. They can't beat Boston in the playoffs. Boston has a 5-1 record, series record against Carolina all time, and so I think it's gonna get to Carolina. They're gonna lose another series. New York and Pittsburgh. I have Pittsburgh winning the series for the sole reason that Pittsburgh has been struggling in the playoffs the last 3 or 4 years. They lost Game 6 last year. They lost Game 6 in 2020. They got swept in 2019. They lost in the second round in 2018, and they have been struggling. The last 4 years, they've been a playoff struggle, and their season, they had a great season, but I just don't see them winning this series. Igor Shesterkin he's gonna win the Vezina Trophy for sure, and that's gonna get to Pittsburgh. They're gonna figure out they can't beat Shesterkin, and New York's ultimately gonna come out winning this series. So I have Florida beating Washington in 5, Tampa beating the Leafs in 7, Boston beating Carolina in 7, and Rangers sweeping the Penguins. Moving on to the second round, Colorado and Minnesota. I have Colorado winning this series. This is going to be one of the closer series in the second round, I believe. It can go either way, but I think Colorado is just too unstoppable. They're too hungry to get past the second round. They haven't gone past the second round in many, many years. I think it'd be 15 or 16 years now. So I think they'll want to push for that conference final appearance. If Marc-Andre Fleury stands on his head in that series, then you could argue Minnesota could win the series, but ultimately I see Colorado winning the series. Calgary and Edmonton, Battle of Alberta. Another series where it can go either way, but I just think that the Flames with Daryl Sutter and Johnny Gaudreau and everybody, they have the best chance of winning this series. I want to see Connor McDavid do well. I want to see Draisaitl do well, but I think it's going to get to them that they can't win a series if they're not the first seed in the division. Yeah. I know seeds don't really matter in the playoffs if you think about it, because there have been upsets before. There was an upset last year. And, seeding, I don't feel like seeding is a big advantage. Home ice advantage, sure. But if you're in the second round and you're playing the top seed in the division and you're the second seed, you have a chance to win that series. But I think the Flames are just they're too good right now. And I think that McDavid and Draisaitl are going to struggle in the series, and ultimately Calgary's going to win the series. Florida and Tampa. I have Tampa winning the series. They're going to push. They're going to be hungry to win the series. They're going to want to win against Florida. They're going to want to eliminate them. Florida hasn't gotten past the first round since 1996, and I don't see them getting past the second round either. So Tampa's going to want to push. They're going to want to push to win that third Stanley Cup in a row. So I think Shesterkin and Spencer Knight are going to do well in the playoffs, but I don't think that it's going to be against Tampa that they're going to do well. They're going to kind of struggle. They're going to fall apart a little bit, and then Tampa's ultimately going to get to them. Boston and the Rangers. I have the Boston winning this series because they have more playoff experience than the Rangers do in the last 4 or 5 years, maybe even 10 years. But I know New York has had their playoff successes. They've had their playoff struggles. Boston as well, same, but they've had more successes than struggles. I think that Swayman and Linus Ullmark are going to be brick walls. They're going to stop every puck that they get shot at them. They're going to Bergeron, Pastrnak, and Marchand. That line is going to be unstoppable again in that series, and they're going to ultimately come out winning the series and go into the conference finals for the first time since 2019, I believe. Colorado and Calgary. This is another tough series for me, but I do have Colorado winning this series. I think it's going to be 6 or 7 games, but I think McKinnon is he's going to be hungry. He's going to be hungry all playoff long. He's going to be hungry to try to win a Stanley Cup. He's going to be hungry to take Gaudreau out of the picture on the offense, on defense, and Darcy Kemper is going to be another brick wall and stand on his head. They're going to push and push to win that series, and ultimately make their way to the Stanley Cup Final, where they will play the Tampa Bay Lightning. And Tampa Bay will go to the third straight Stanley Cup Final, and their fourth since 2015. This is another tough series because this could go either way. Tampa or Colorado. Colorado hasn't won a Stanley Cup in 21 years. Tampa Bay has just won back-to-back Stanley Cups. So I think you guys see where I'm going with this. I do have Tampa winning this Stanley Cup against Colorado. And who knows, my predictions could be terribly wrong, but I just think Tampa Bay wants it more. They're going to be pushing. They're going to be pressing hard. They're going to try to keep McKinnon and Rantanen from scoring goals, and Kadri, who's had an amazing, amazing year. But ultimately, I do see the Tampa Bay Lightning winning the Stanley Cup. And the number of goals is 18. I think 18 goals will be scored. It'll be a low-scoring series. It'll be a 7-game series. There will be a few overtimes. There'll be 1-goal games that will be decided in the final second, maybe. Who knows? But ultimately, I could see this going either way. I could see Calgary and Tampa. I could see Calgary, Boston. I could see Colorado, Boston. I could see, anything could happen in with these four teams. But I do see Colorado and Tampa Bay facing off in the Stanley Cup Final, and with Tampa Bay ultimately winning the Stanley Cup for a third straight year. That is it for my predictions video. If you enjoyed it, again, please drop a like on this video. Let's go for 10 likes on this video. I know we can do it. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new. All that good stuff. And, yeah. If you guys want me to do a sort of live stream of any of games in the playoffs, just let me know. Comment down below if you want to see that. And also comment down below your predictions for the 2022 Stanley Cup playoffs. That is it for me. I will see you guys in the next video.